Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the Corner Post Podcast, episode number 5 for your Wednesday night, October 11, 2023. It is 7:43 p.m. on a Wednesday night for me here in New South Wales. And as always, I'm joined by Codys Footy World. Cody, how are you, my friend, and how's things down there on the Central Coast?
Yeah, I'm doing quite well, Nick. Yeah, it's been very quiet for the last week or so, as just taking a break from YouTube after the conclusion of the 2023 NRL Grand Final, which,
Yes.
to say the least, was fabulous to watch.
Yeah, it was a very fascinating grand final, wasn't it? It was pretty wild the way the game went, the way the game ended. It was quite a memorable grand final. The reason why there was no podcast last week was because I had a hamstring problem and Cody had a HIA. So we were both ruled out last week. So the podcast didn't go on. But we're back. I've recovered from my hamstring. Cody's recovered from his HIAs. So, yeah, things are good. Things are good. Hello to the live chat. Hope everyone's doing good. Hello to Devils _ Sai. Hello to SS Storm fan. Hello to Josh Rabbitohs 2023. Hello to CJ Moxley. Hello to all the viewers that are tuning in right now. Hope everyone is doing extremely well. Welcome back to the channel. And hello to Luke Melbourne Storm fan. If you're new around here, guys, don't forget to like the live stream, subscribe to my channel, and also subscribe to Codys if you haven't already as well. The link to his channel is in the description box down below. So make sure, yes, you get down there and you subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and so would Cody. But there's a lot to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight. A lot of news been going on in the NRL. There's a bit of news over in the UK as well. It's all happening. But let's get into it. Let's begin. And we're going to start off with a topic that might be a bit tough for some people to swallow, but we need to talk about it because it only happened the other week. Panthers and the Broncos grand final. Look, we won't spend too long on this. We'll just go over the game a little bit, just get our sort of opinion on the outcome. Cody, it was a weird old grand final, wasn't it? The Broncos had a 24 points to 8 lead, and with about 18, 19 minutes to go, the Panthers found a way to come back, scoring 3 tries and winning in the final 3 minutes on the back of Nathan Cleary with that match-winning try and whatnot. And the Broncos lose the unlosable grand final, but it's footy. Sometimes you think you're home, but it just doesn't go your way. What'd you make of the grand final between Penrith and Brisbane anyway, bro? Cody. Oh, no. Oh, no. I think the dodo bird has decided to interrupt. Maybe the magical Broncos dodo bird has come in and said, nah, if you talk about the grand final, we're going to interrupt your stream. Oh, hang on. Cody, are you there?
Yep, happens every time.
I don't know what happened, bro. You're frozen for about 40 seconds, but, mate, what was your take on the grand final?
Yeah, I was just cut out there, that's all. But, yeah, no, I think this year's grand final was definitely better than last year, I'll say that. But, yeah, well, I think it was an amazing grand final to watch. I mean, Penrith coming back from 16 points down. I mean, Broncos should have won it at that point, but they decided to chill there and nope, Penrith are too good, and now they've won 3 in a row. The first team to win 3 in a row since the Eels in the 1980s.
Yeah, it's the first time in a long time, man. That the Panthers did very well to win, and look, personally, I don't like Penrith. I really don't. I dislike them. I don't respect what they're about. But as they continue to consistently win big games, they just know how to do it. I respect that part. I don't respect the off field stuff, the way they carry on and the way the way they go about themselves. I'm not a big fan of that. But as a team and the way they do things, they can't be beat. It's their comp to lose every year, and dare I say, going into next season, Penrith will be looking for four in a row. And again, it's their comp to lose. They lose a few players, but they get players, next man up mentality, and they just seem to find a way to win. But mate, let's talk about Brisbane. How much do you reckon that grand finals is going to hurt them?
Yeah, in the long run, going into the off season is going to hurt them quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a good lead over them, but it'd be interesting to see how they will go in the off season, considering this is their first top 8 finish since 2019.
Yeah. No, you're right. Do you think Brisbane next year will bounce back and they'll still be, in the top four and they'll still be a very good team?
Yeah, well, there's a couple other teams that are going to be similar as well, but
Yeah.
I think they might drop a little, but I think they'll still make the top 8 next year. Top 4, not sure.
Look, for me, I still think Brisbane will be top four next year. I do. But Jesus Christ, that's going to take a while to get over. Like, the way they lost that grand final was inexcusable. They should never have lost it. They're definitely going to be a bit weaker next season. They do lose Herbie Farnworth. They do lose Thomas Flegler. Herbie Farnworth's going to be a massive loss. So is Thomas Flegler. So more workload on Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan. But fuck. I just mentally, how do I get over that? Like, that's going to take. It's going to take a while because if you remember, Cody, in 2015, when Brisbane made the grand final and they lost to the Cowboys, my team, which was again another grand final they should not have lost, but they did find a way to lose it. The next season, I think Brisbane was second that year. But the next season they came fifth. So it took them a little, like, they were a little bit mentally hurt from the grand final, but they still were able to have a good year. I think they made it to the semi-finals that next year. They made it to week 2, and then we knocked them out again. So, look, based off that analysis, I mean, they could go from second to fifth again. They could go from second to seventh. It's a possibility, but I feel like a lot of them will try and move on from it the best they can. They've got some freakish kids in that side. Oh, it's just the way they lost that game. I just can't believe how they lost it. I would say, honestly, that was worse than 2015. The way they lost that game, that was worse than 2015. Like, you can't be leading by 16 and getting run down like that, especially in the last 20.
Yeah.
Can't happen. But, we'll see how the Broncos go next year. Mentally, they're going to be a little bit hurt, I reckon. But as for Penrith, now for me, when it comes down to Penrith, it's just lack of motivation, bro. Like, what, they won 3 in a row. Like, do they really need to win 4 in a row? Like, is the motivation going to be there for that? Like, I suppose it will be because they're professional players and they want to win as many comps as they can in a row. But fuck, man, like, surely Penrith go through a patch next year where they might lose a few games. Surely they'll have a period where they drop a little bit, right?
Yeah, they definitely will drop next year, but it's their comp to lose, and
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think the goal for next year is who can eliminate Penrith in the
Yeah.
final.
Who can beat them?
The question is who. Will it be an unexpected team, or will it be one of the teams that managed to beat the Panthers this year in the regular season?
Well, see, the thing is as well, when it comes down to Penrith, it's like, um, if you want to be the best, and you've got to go through them. You've got to go through Penrith, and I think the only thing that's going to cost Penrith anything right now is injuries. If they get injuries to big name players in key positions at in finals, that's the only thing that's going to really cost them anything at this point. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but Panthers do a free pay. Good on them. Let's move on, bro.
Yeah, move on.
I don't even want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about it. But ever since the grand final ended, this is all I've been hearing in the comments. People on expert panels, blah, blah, blah. Is Nathan Cleary a future immortal? I'm going to go straight up and say no. But you might have a different opinion on this one, Cody. What do you think about Cleary? Do you see him as a future immortal? He's done a lot so far at a young age. Do you think there's potential there or no?
Well, it will depend on how he pretty much goes for the rest of his career. I mean, like, he's only, 24, 25, or 26. Still
He's
got,
young.
another decade in him at least. If he keeps winning premierships and potentially winning a State of Origin series eventually, he could be one, but at this stage, I don't think he will be.
Why?
I think, to be honest, I mean, he could be one, but I just don't see it. I mean, it's just very tough to become an immortal these days compared to the old days.
Now, look, if you want to be an immortal, we're talking, guys like Andrew Johns. We're talking about all these sort of guys. Guys like Cameron Smith, who will be an immortal. Guys like Jonathan Thurston. Guys like Darren Lockyer, Billy Slater. All these sort of players, right? That will be immortals. And I think it's very unfair to put the immortal take on Nathan Cleary's name right now. I don't think that's right. I think he's still a kid. He's still got a long way to go. Yes, he won a World Cup. He's won a couple of grand finals now. He's arguably done everything in the game that he needs to do, but he hasn't dominated a State of Origin series. He hasn't dominated at international level for Australia. Yes, he's done it at Penrith, but until you do it at State of Origin level, until you do it for the Kangaroos. Now, he did play for the Kangaroos in the World Cup last season. And look, he did okay. He wasn't outstanding. He wasn't a standout. He definitely struggled when he was playing for Australia. But he needs to dominate at different levels of the game. He needs to also dominate at pretty much what Moxley just said in the chat. All levels consistently. Absolutely. And he hasn't done that just yet. So I'm going to say no as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no as well.
it's
And
too early to call.
I know in the comments section there'll be a lot of Panthers fans going, "Oh, he's already done this at a certain age before this player, and he's going to be an immortal." Blah blah blah. Listen, until Nathan Cleary dominates the State of Origin series, wins the Wally Lewis medal, and dominates and is the best player in the whole series, then we can have a conversation about it. But until then, zip it. Zip. He ain't an immortal. He ain't nowhere near it. No way. And there's been a few comments online as well about, oh, Cleary over Cronk. Fuck off. That is crap. Absolute crap. But yeah, phenomenal talent, great kid, but not an immortal. No way. No way. All right. Cody, on to some news. Now, should Bevan French return to the NRL? So in case you guys are not familiar with the Super League, Bevan French won the Men of Steel Award over there this morning, which is basically the Dally M medal over here. And Bevan French is involved in the Super League Grand Final this weekend for the Wigan Warriors when they take on Catalan Dragons. We'll get into a preview of that later on, but Bevan French is moved to 5'8". You know, he can play fullback, he can play wing, he can play center. At the moment, he's playing 5'8", but he's doing a phenomenal job. Cody, would you like to see Bevan French return to the NRL?
Yeah, there's definitely no reason why he should return. But I think what he's done for Wigan over there, at least for this season as well, I think he's deserved to win the Man Steel Award. But it'll be interesting to see if he'll return eventually. But he'll most likely return to Para where I think he last played at. I'm pretty sure.
I can't see him going back to Parramatta. Him and Brad Arthur didn't really get on that well, so I can't see that. I could name a few teams that Bevan French would be a good pickup at. I think Bevan French at the Dragons would be a very good pickup. I think Bevan French at the Newcastle Knights would be a very good pickup. I think Bevan French at the Gold Coast Titans would be a very good pickup. Maybe the Dolphins under Wayne. Gee, oi, can you imagine that? Dolphins, Hammer at 1, French at 6. Oh, that's scary. That is a quick fucking team. Maybe Cronulla as well. I mean, Nico Hines is the halfback there, and Moylan isn't really working out for him, and Trindle is not really the guy. Maybe the Sharks should look at him. Like there's plenty of teams I reckon that would be very interested in Bevan French. So what team do you reckon would be his best destination? For me, I reckon it'd be Cronulla or St. George or the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think definitely the Sharks as well. Like you said with Eels, most likely not. But I could see him going to the Sharks most likely. They need,
Even Canberra.
yeah, they need depth in the half there at the Sharks.
Even Canberra, I forgot about Canberra. I mean, fuck, they lost Whiten and they don't really have a recognised fullback. So, I mean, Canberra makes sense as well. So, like, there's plenty of options out there. But at the moment, Bevan French is contracted at Wigan and he's doing a great job over at Wigan. And I think if he were to return to the NRL, there'd be plenty of clubs looking to sign him up. Now let's get on to the next news. And Cody, you were telling me about this earlier, and then I did a bit of research, and it seems like it's about to happen. Shout out to the Rabbitohs report on Instagram as well for this. Keon Kalamatangi set to re-sign with South for 3 more years. Now, 4 more years, is it? I thought it was 3 more years. All right, well, I better fix that up. But Cody, Keon to stay at South. I know we spoke about a few weeks ago that he might end up leaving to go maybe to the Roosters or Canberra, but he's going to be staying at the Bunnies. How happy are you about this?
I'm very excited. I mean, if he was going to a different club, would have been a massive, massive blow to our back row there. But it's great to see that he will re-sign for another 3 to 4 years or so. We'll wait for it to come out public, but I'm very excited. He's pretty much our best player there in the back row there at the Bunnies.
Yeah. Now I think you had to re-sign him one way or another. He's too good of a player not to have in your team. You definitely needed him. So very smart from South Sydney. I know the Canberra Raiders threw big money at him. I know the Dragons were extremely interested. Roosters sort of fell apart because they have plenty of back rows, so they don't really need him. But I'm glad he's staying at the Bunnies, bro. I think it's a great thing for the Bunnies to hold on to Keon Kalamatangi. He's a hell of a player.
Yes, he definitely is, and that just means he's showing so much loyalty at the Bunnies, staying there for the next couple of years.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of loyalty in the game these days, so yeah, hopefully he resigns there, and it looks like it's about to happen. So great news there for the Rabbits. On to the next topic now. And should international footy happen every season? Now, obviously, we had the Rugby League World Cup last season, and now we've got the Pacific Championship starting up this weekend. But we don't have international footy every season. We like to give players a rest and whatnot. Do you think, with how the schedule is, with it being late October to around November, do you think international footy should happen every year, Cody?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it should definitely happen every year. Yeah, sure, the time of year is a bit questionable, especially they want to rest up before getting back into training into the off season and all that in November. But I think it should happen, but like how it should happen should be different every year as well.
Yeah, yeah. Look, for me, I was on the fence with this because I was like, well, NRL players would like a rest, but as we know, this weekend in the international footy, there's a lot of big name players still missing from the Australian side, and same goes to New Zealand next week. You'll see a lot of players that you'd expect to be there, but that won't be there. It's also good to give some of the young ones a go. Like, for example, Dylan Edwards wouldn't be near the team if certain players were available. So um, it's good to give some other players an opportunity to make their debut for their country. And I think Edwards making his debut is good for Australia. And I think it should happen every year. I think we should have a competition every season, whether it be a free match series like we've got between Tonga and England, whether it be a like a Six Nation or a Tri Nation tournament or Four Nations or whatever it may be. I think this is great for the game, Cody, and I think every year it should happen. Every year.
Yeah, every year it should, but like we should change it up every year to
Yeah, you're
like what
right.
you said.
Well, bro, next year I want to see Australia play England in a free match series, and then we can have like a Four Nations tournament between New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, or you can add in Papua New Guinea and Cook Islands. Have a Six Nation tournament. Have Australia and England play off. Um, whether it be in Australia or whether it be over in the UK, and have a free match series because we haven't had Australia versus England since the 2017 World Cup final when I think Australia won that game 6-0. So I think we need this every year. International footy, it's absolutely huge, and it needs to be one of the pinnacles of the game, bro. It needs to be.
Yeah, and it's also to grow rugby league in general across the world as well, in a way.
100%. 100%. All right, now let's move on to some news that's pretty controversial. Des Hasler, who is now the brand new coach of the Gold Coast Titans, he's launching legal action against his old team, Manly. Now, that might come as a surprise to some of you. Now, I've done a bit of research on this afternoon. So, in case you're unfamiliar, Des Hasler was on contract at the Manly Seagulls. He was sacked from his contract early in 2022. Obviously, a lot to do with the Jersey saga with the LGBT community, whatever, the religious stuff, blah, blah, blah. Des had to come out and say things that he wasn't supposed to. He had to stand up for the club, and the way Des went about himself there was very professional. And anyway, he was pretty much fired from his contract earlier than what he was meant to. So Des has decided, well, I will sit my contract out and I'll do nothing. And he got paid for it. That's what he did. And now he will be suing. So, yeah. I think Des is going to probably win this against Manly. But do you think this can be a bit of a distraction, Cody, going into the off season for Manly?
Um, yeah, this took me by surprise when I got found out about this, but I think in a way it could affect Manly in the off season. Like, I mean, we saw what happened with them with the Pride jersey and all that bullshit towards the end of last year and didn't win a single game for the last remaining rounds. But I think this could hurt Manly in a way because
Yep.
it's their former coach versus them, and I think Des Hasler will win the battle. And who knows how long this will go on for as well.
It's a big problem, and I know people will say, "Oh, it doesn't affect the playing group, doesn't affect the club." Bullshit. These sort of annoying little distractions behind the scenes, they can come out and be quite annoying. And um, I think Daz has got every right to, launch legal action. I think the way Manly treated him, the way that whole Jersey saga came out, the way that whole thing was dealt with, the way Dez had to come out and defend the playing group at the time. Um, yeah, very tough situation. So, look, I think Dez has a very good case. And look, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how it all works, but I think Dez will do pretty well in court with the way things are looking here.
Yeah, I agree. And who knows how this could be ended as well. What could be a major problem, and it could force like players maybe leaving, like unlikely, like leaving the club. They had great relations with Des Hasler as well while he was at the club with Manly.
Yeah, possibly. Anyway, we'll move on because it's a very touchy subject to really get into. Um, all right, and the final topic before we get to the game show and whatnot, should Justin Olam leave the Storm? Now, in case you guys don't remember this, before the final series began, Olam was dropped. He wasn't in the team for Melbourne for like 10 weeks. He had a very good game against Brisbane last round. He wasn't even picked for against Brisbane in the first week of the finals. He played in week 2 and week 3, and he did pretty well in week 2 against the Roosters. But I don't know. It seems to be Olam's been shipped around a little bit. Do you think Olam should leave the Storm, Cody, or do you think he should stay?
Well, if he's not going to be really used in the team that much, as we saw during this year, I think he should leave the club and find a new one.
So you think they shouldn't? Do you think he should move on? Just go somewhere else?
Yeah, I think he should move on. Like, if he's not going to be utilised in a way, I think he should look elsewhere at a new club.
Well, if that's the case, what teams do you think he'd be best suited at?
Yeah, it's quite tough where they're looking for centres at the moment, but I could probably see Olam going to possibly like a team like Canberra or the Dogs, possibly.
Okay, yeah.
Well, especially the Dogs because with Crichton going. I'm sorry. With oh no, not Bulldogs. Penrith. Sorry.
Oh
Like they need
God,
a yeah. It's going to be unlikely, but that would be massive if he goes to Penrith.
that'd be fucked if he goes to Penrith. That'd be ridiculous. I think a couple of good landing spots for Olam. I think Brisbane would be a good landing spot. Obviously, they've just lost Herbie Farmworth. So I think the Broncos would be a good landing spot for him. I think the Raiders would be a decent choice. I think Parramatta is another club where I think Olam going to Parramatta would also be a great decision. Or maybe the Sharks. Move Talakai into the second row and maybe play Olam in the centers. I don't know. So there are a few options for me. But personally, Cody, I think Olam should stay at Melbourne. I don't think his career will get any better if he were to move on. You know, Craig Bellamy is a different type of coach, man. And unless Bellamy retires and moves on, then maybe Olam could look elsewhere. But if I was Olam, I would not leave Melbourne until Bellamy is gone.
No worries, that's fair. But we'll just have to wait and see if he'll
Yeah.
be picked when the season starts next year.
Yes, it will be very interesting. All right. Let's get into the Corner Post game show. Let's get straight into it. Now, we didn't do the podcast last week due to we were both out with an injury. But Cody, I believe the record is I've won 3 game shows, you've won 1. And you won the last one, so I'm 3-1 over you.
Yep, that is right. I managed to sneakily got the win over you last time, but
You
he's
did.
still got a 2-point lead over me at the moment.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn my phone off. Put the screen. Throw it over there. Phone down there. You can ask me the questions first, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Bear with me because the computer is playing up. Bear with me. Don't be a bitch, computer. Come on, man. All right, there we go. There's me down the bottom there, Nick.
Also, no answers in the live chat either, otherwise you'll be banned.
Yeah, you guys know the rules by now. Everyone should know by now. If you reveal the answers to the questions, you will be in timeout. So don't even bother with it. All right, Cody, you're asking me the questions first. My phone's away from me. So the floor's yours.
All right. Question number 1. In the game between the Storm and the Tigers early in this year, Storm won the game, but who was the first West Tigers try scorer? It was someone in the back line.
Remember this game? It was a Friday 6 o'clock game in Melbourne. Back line for Tigers.
Yes.
I don't think it was Buller. I don't think it was Tupou. Was it Nofaluma?
No, incorrect. It was Asakapoa.
Oh, Kapoa. See, when I think of Kapoa, I'm thinking about back row, center sometimes. Bastard. All right, well, that's 0 for 1 for me. Next question.
All right. In the round 8 game between the Eels and Broncos, up there at in Darwin, Broncos won the game. Broncos scored first. Who was the first try scorer? It was someone in the back line.
Yeah, it was a big win for Brisbane. I do remember this game. It was a Friday night game. It was the Anzac round, I think.
It was. And Brisbane led quite heavily at halftime.
I think it was a right edge player. I don't think it was the left side. So that leaves it between Katoni and Cobbo. I'll go Katoni Staggs.
Nope, you were incorrect. It was the other edge. It was Herbie Farnworth.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Well, this is a shit start, I'll tell you. 0-2. Fuck me, dead. Righto, next question.
All right. Magic round question from this year.
I should get this.
Now, which team scored the most amount of points for Magic round? So this is the single team that scored the most amount of points during Magic round. And I'll give you a clue, not a New South Wales team.
Yeah, it wasn't Souths, it wasn't Penrith. They both scored fairly amount of decent points. It's either the Broncos or the Dolphins. I'll go with the Broncos.
No, you were incorrect. You said it the first time was the Dolphins. They scored 36 points. Broncos were
What?
close. They scored 32 points.
Oh, fuck me.
Dolphins won 36-16 against the
I kept
Sharks.
thinking, I kept thinking the Broncos won by like 40.
No, they
It,
didn't.
it felt like it watching the game.
Yeah, it was.
Unreal. Fuck.
All right, question 4. Roosters took on Manly at the SCG in round 24. Roosters won the game. Who was the first try scorer? It was from the Roosters back line.
It wasn't Tupou. I don't think it was Tedesco. Drew Hutchison, maybe? No. I'll go Sully.
No, unfortunately, it was the other winger, Daniel Tupou.
Was it really Tupou?
Yep,
Oh, fuck. This is like the worst I've ever gone, I swear.
just as bad as the last time we played.
God. Last
Big
one,
note.
go on.
All right. In round 26, in between the Raiders and Broncos, who
Yeah.
was the first try scorer? It was Broncos back line.
Herbie Farmworth, I'm fucking almost certain. Herbie Farmworth.
No, it was Colbo.
Fuck!
So I just need the 1 point, and I got the win.
How the fuck do I go 0-5?
I mean, you should know your first try scorers. Usually it's the back rowers.
Yeah, I know. That's well, I throw money on them. Well, that was fucked. That was actually pretty embarrassing.
That was
I
shocking.
apologize to everyone out there that were hoping I'd go better, but that was absolute dog shit.
I gave you
That
easier
was so
questions.
bad. All right, you're going down. Make sure your phone's away from you.
I'm using my phone for the stream,
Oh, okay.
and I can't even use a different screen anyway.
All right, I'm gonna give you some fucking hard questions, man. I can't believe that. I can't believe it.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's see how you go with these. Right. Question 1. In round 5 of the NRL, Bulldogs versus Cowboys. Cowboys scored the first try in that game. I'll give you the multiple choice free players who it could have been. Was it Tom Dearden? Was it Tom Chester? Was it Kyle Felt?
Ooh, we didn't play that much this year. I'm going to go Tom Chester.
It was Tom Dearden.
Ah,
I was scared you were going to say him, I was like, oh, no, I'm gone already.
no,
All right, 0-1. 0-1. 0-1.
I only need one to get the
Yeah,
win.
I know. I know. All right, next question. In round 11, when the Cowboys beat the Dragons 42-22, which Cowboys player? Hang on. Okay, here we go. Good luck getting this. In round 11, when the Cowboys beat the Dragons, the Cowboys scored 7 tries that game. Which player? Which two Cowboys players scored a double?
I've got to get 2 of them, or just one.
Yeah. You got to get 2 of them. So One of them is an outside back, and one of them is in the forwards.
All right, so for the back line, I'm going to go. Let's go Murray Talangi.
Bam, bam.
Damn it. And for the forwards, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Cohen Hess.
Bam, bam. It was Kyle Felt and Hillam Lukey.
Ah, close.
All right. It was a tough question. It's a very tough question. All right. 0-2. All you need is one. That's all you need. It's one question. That's all you need. All right, let's go to a different team. Let's go to Parramatta. Parramatta. All right. In round 13 of the NRL, Eagles beat the Cowboys 24 points to 16. The Eagles scored a late try to seal the win. Who was the last try scorer? Was it Mitch Moses? Was it Clint Gufferson? Or was it Sean Russell?
Oh, this one's quite tough. What's a Guffo?
Bam, bam. Moses. Off the scrum, I think it was. I was at the game.
What's your word?
Oh, and 3, Cody. Look out. Look out.
Wow.
All right, let's do a Cronulla Sharks question. Here we go. In round 21 of the NRL, Manly beat the Sharks 30 points to 6. In that game, who was the last try scorer for the Sharks? Was it William Kennedy? Was it Ronaldo? Or was it Katoa? Which one of them scored the last try?
All right. Was it William Kennedy?
Fuck, you got it.
Yes. Got one.
Well, you've won the game anyway. So that's
Yeah.
1 out of 4. All right, last question. Last question. Not that it really matters at this point. Hey, look. In round 27, Knights beat the Dragons 32-12. Newcastle scored the first try of the game. Who was the first try scorer? Was it Lachlan Fitzgibbon or was it Jacob Saifidi?
Oh, wow. Someone in the forwards. Was it Jacob Saifidi?
Yes, it was.
I had to think about that one because he rarely scores.
Yeah, all right. Cody's the winner. 2 out of 5. Cody's won the last 2 game shows, so he's on a bit of a streak.
So that's 3-2.
Yep. Very good.
Nice. Could be
All
tied
right,
up
well
in this
done.
three.
Well done. All right, let's do a quick preview on the Super League Grand Final, bro. So, the Super League Grand Finals on Sunday morning for us here in New South Wales at 4 a.m. to kick off. Very, very ugly time zone, but is what it is. Wigan against Catalans. Who do you think wins the Grand Final?
Yeah, I mean, this one is a tough one. They both finished on the same points, along with Sir Helens, but they're not in it anymore. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Catalan to win by
Yep.
1 point.
Oh, 1 point.
2019.
Oh, wow. I'm going to go with Wigan, bro. I think Wigan will be far too good. I just feel they've just got too much class. So I'll go Wigan by 12 points. I think they'll be too good for Catalans.
Fair enough, but final game for the Super League coming up this week.
All right, let's get into the other games. We've got 2 international games to look forward to. The Pacific Championship start. We've got Australia versus Samoa Saturday night at Townsville. 8 o'clock for us, 11 o'clock for Queensland. How do you see it, Australia versus Samoa?
or just like where we did the preview earlier in the week
Yesterday,
or
yeah.
or yesterday. I think Australia win too good by
Yeah.
20 points. Score 30 points to 10.
Yeah, I think Australia win and win well. Australia 30 plus. That'd be way too good for Samoa. And the last game, we got Sunday Arvo. We got Papua New Guinea against Cook Islands. What about this one?
Well, this one will be the closer of the two games. I'll go PNG to win by 4, 30 points to 26 the scoreline.
Yeah, I think PNG will be too good for Cook Islands as well. But I think it'll be a close game. I'll go PNG by 12. But that pretty much wraps up episode 5 of the Corner Post podcast. Cody, thank you for a good show, bro. And we'll be back again hopefully next week.
Yeah, well, great show once again. Sucks we missed out last week, but it is what it is. And
That's it.
yeah, we'll got International Rugby League on the weekend and along with Super
Yeah,
League Grand Final on Sunday.
it's all
Got
happening.
heaps of football to watch.
Yeah, man. Hopefully my hamstring improves over the week. And hopefully your HIA does as well.
I'm starting to get better, but not fully 100%.
Yeah, hopefully my hamstring doesn't stuff up again. But no, we should be right to go. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching the podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a phenomenal Wednesday night, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another live stream. Anyway, until then, take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Go Australia.